never presented with that. I was presented with the idea that, Peter, if you would like to walk in the jungle for 30 days, you need to drink ayahuasca to put the jungle in your blood. And then on the way back, we drink ayahuasca again to clean you out. And so, for me, I remember, this is almost 27 years ago, 28 years ago now.
Wow.
There was no literature on this. I mean, Marlene Dobkin de Rios had written a couple of things about it, but you really had to go to rare book libraries in New York City to find material on it. There was no net in this time.
Right.
So, Richard Schultes, who later talked to me about having drunk ayahuasca, had never admitted it, and he was the ethnobotanist. I mean, he's, the man. But until 1994, he had never admitted he ever drank the damn thing.
Wow.
So I was going in blind, and I just took it as, well, Moises says to walk 30 days in the jungle to be able to see snakes before they come out from under the tree. To avoid being spider bit, you need to drink this. This is good jungle medicine. Now, I later learned a whole lot more. But certainly, Julio, because he became a stopping off point for where we jump into the jungle. And Moises and I spent years walking back and forth across the green hell. I mean, I really don't know if anyone's ever done as much hiking through the jungle as we did. I kept insisting there would be indigenous people in the jungle. Moises kept telling me, you're an idiot. People live on the river. They don't live in the jungle. Where are you going to get water?
Right.
And I kept thinking, no, but they're hiding from modern life. I mean, whatever the heck my ideas were, they were crazy. But I made Moises walk me back and forth across that damn jungle every year, sometimes 3 times in 1 year. We'd hike 300-400 miles in a month. We'd do 25 miles a day bushwhacking through the thickest damn jungle you ever saw. Both of us hacking with, machetes, and it was crazy. It was insane.
Oh, man.
But at the beginning and end of each was Julio. And Julio would just laugh and say, you foolish, foolish boy. You don't know shit about nothing. How about tomorrow night you drink some of my medicine and learn a little something? and I would. And he taught me enormously without ever teaching me like a teacher. The medicine, I mean, if we're going to get into the ayahuasca, what's ayahuasca worth or the value, among other things, very quickly you learn everything in the world has a spirit. And the fact that I can't talk to a mountain isn't the mountain's fault. It's because my broadband isn't wide enough. And the best example I can give you is, imagine a dog whistle. You don't hear it. I don't hear it. Cats don't hear it. But when you blow it, the dog will jump. Which means it's there. Even though we don't hear it. Now imagine if you could drink jungle medicine, ayahuasca. And you could suddenly broaden your spectrum of hearing. You would hear the dog whistle. What would you see if you broaden your vision spectrum? We see greens, reds, right? But imagine if you could see the other colors. And that, to me, is what the medicine affords you. Now, at the same time, once you've heard the dog whistle, once you've seen things that are not available to the human eye normally. Those doors don't close. I've got a son who's 19. He lives with his mom just two miles away from me. And, I mean, she's my ex-wife, but we're still friends. And he lives behind her house in a small building because he refused to clean his room in my house. And I said, you can't, you can't keep peeing in a bottle, and I think it's juice, and I drink it, and it turns out it's your pee. I mean, I'm really fed up with this. The bathroom is 2 steps away. Okay, so I'm as human as they come, okay? I mean, that's a perfect example. But he said, fine. In that case, I'll go live with Mom. Because she would never drink yellow juice. And I'm like, yeah, but you put it in a bottle that's like apple juice. It looks like apple juice. I hate you. Exactly. And it's just like you. It was like, stop laughing. And he's like, you keep drinking my pee. So, in any event, he and I had a falling out, so he lives with his mom now. But now he drank with me when he was 14.
Oh, yeah, that's in your book, too, isn't it?
It's in my book. It's a story in my book, but it's a real story, and I think it's important for people to understand. He was born in the jungle. He was part of the jungle. It was. I wasn't trying to bring, like, a 14-year-old white kid to the middle of the jungle and say, drink this medicine.
Right.
No. I mean, we're talking about a jungle kid. He's an indigenous kid to begin with, you know? His mom's as indigenous as they come, and he'd been around that, and I adopted him because she had him before I met him. But, I mean, I got him when he was 3 years old, 4 years old. So I had him young, but, I mean, he was from there. And, at some point, probably I think 13 or 14, he was with me with a small group out in the jungle, and he ate the breakfast on the day we were going to do medicine. I feed people breakfast, and I send them out for a long, very hard hike. And they're not allowed to drink or eat anything for from 9 in the morning until 9 at night. When it's time to start the ceremony. And if they walk 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, so they are dehydrated, they are exhausted, there's nothing in their stomach. At the same time, when they come back, there's a feast waiting in the kitchen. Those who want the feast can't drink the ayahuasca. Those who look at the feast and say, and then give it up, they can drink. Because one of the main things with ayahuasca is vomiting. It's not about vomiting physical stuff. I mean, you could vomit Chinese food anytime you want. But when was the last time you were allowed to vomit the pain you had from a breakup with a girlfriend when you were 15 years old? When was the last time you were allowed to vomit up the pain you felt when your mother, at 2 months old, 4 months old, 6 months old, said, you have teeth, could never have my breast again? And until that moment, you thought you were the best thing since Swiss cheese. And then suddenly you got a tooth, and your mom says, "Oh, you hurt. Here's a pacifier." You're like, what happened to Mom? What the hell is this pacifier thing? Well, so we want you to starve that day so you get to vomit up that pain. Not the memory of that pain. The memory is good. The memory of the sins you committed, the memory of the sins people committed on you. It's good to remember, like, oh, man, I loved her so much, I loved him so much, I loved that dog so much, and then the dog ran out in the traffic and I felt bad. Good, remember that. But don't carry around the actual pain from that. Vomit that up. Remember the memory so that you are alert in the present. But why do you want a sack on your back like a hunchback? Which is you don't need that. I mean, it's been 18 years and you forgot what the hell the dog's name was. So remember that you should keep dogs off the road, that's good memory.
Right.
Bad memory is, oh, Joey, you don't need that.
Right.
Let's get rid of that.
Exactly.
So that's what you're afforded to vomit with ayahuasca. So Lance, I'm sorry.
That's
where the hell did we start this?
Well, we're talking about what comes with the pain. The vomiting is an emotional cleansing that comes up when you first do the ayahuasca. Is it right?
Yes, and usually that will lead into the ayahuasca dream.
Oh, right. That's the part where the shaman, or you guide yourself through to another side of the spiritual realms, where you have different experiences, but many of them seem to be quite similar. Most of the people, don't they seem to describe a similar landscape or entities that are kind of waiting there, that are on the other side of that?
Well, there's a yes and no there.
All right.
The yes is we are humans. We've got very finite brains. We need to compartmentalize, or we cannot view things.
Right, right.
So let's say you see a car accident on the highway.
Uh-huh.
Boom. You have to put it into a frame that you can absorb.
Right, right.
And you might pass it and say, please, God, I hope nobody was hurt. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But you have to compartmentalize that. Now imagine you see a spirit which has no physical body. You have to put that into a shape you can deal with. So you might make it a clown, an angel, or something. But it's got to be something.
Right.
But the reality is this. You and I live in this 3, 4, 5, 12-dimensional world.
Right.
Now, if we use a medicine that will broaden our senses, like to allow us to hear the dog whistle, or to see spectrum further than our eyes can see,
right,
it's the equivalent, in my mind. Imagine there's a wall in front of you. Imagine in a moment that wall becomes a curtain and you pull it down. There are now 450 people living in that huge apartment building saying, holy shit, who the fuck is that looking at me having dinner? They're looking at you, you're looking at them.
Right, right.
And you're like, I didn't know I was doing that. Well, you drank ayahuasca, that allowed you to do that. You did DMT, that allowed you to do that. You're like, well, to me, they become looky-loos.
Right.
They're just looking at you. They're like, who's looking at me? And so they come bobbing in and out of your space. And you have to be able to give them a shape that you can accept, a shape that you can recognize. It could be a crazy clown, it could be a monkey, it could be a banana, it could be a tree, but you need something.
Yeah, yeah.